Hello and welcome to the Enginerdy Show. I'm Mr. Pold.
I'm St. Jimmy.
I'm DVD. You can't see my mouth, so I have to be really expressive with my eyebrows.
Our fake sponsor this week is Delitos, the tasty chips that make you forget.
What were we talking about?
What did I eat yesterday?
Did I eat the whole bag? Did I eat the bag?
Why do I have a stomachache?
I forgot what they taste like.
Should we talk about the elephant in the room?
The scarf?
DVD.
The scarf is here to distract.
The pop filters.
Yes.
And the new mic stands.
Yes, we got new mic stands. Thanks for
These
everyone.
are due to our Amazon people.
Yes, thank you, listeners.
Thank you for shopping through Amazon.
You guys have made us a better show.
We now don't have those
Because we've reached our maximum, and you guys helped us go just a little bit more.
The other thing is these two are sick.
Yes,
What?
I'm ill.
I'm straight up ill.
I'm straight up trying not to get
The problem is my sick voice is sick. Yeah.
I wore a hat and scarf to distract people from the fact that I'm sick. Is it
Okay.
working?
Yes, totally. I thought you were trying to be the doctor.
Yes, this is the new Doctor Who's get up if he wasn't a woman.
If he's a doctor or Dolphins fan.
Yes, and a Salt Lake
And a man.
Real.
I think they're all
fan.
Dolphins fans.
How dare you define a gender?
Darius
Doctor.
Rucker's a Dolphins fan.
Yes. The Dolphins make him cry.
Yes, they do.
Sweet, delicious
When they lose.
Dolphins.
Which they've done consistently since Dan Marino retired.
Which really confuses people that don't know anything about football when he says that in a song.
Yes.
Oh, he's an ecologist.
Yes, he studies
I'm going with ecologist.
I did study
Ecolols.
ecologists.
That's what that would be, wouldn't it?
Maybe.
Maybe dolphins are studying us.
They call him Flipper.
Quicker than lightning.
Yes.
I have no range of my singing voice right now, however.
So we're not doing a singing episode?
I can sing, I just gotta sing low.
Because your fish
Swing low.
is on my list. Because your fish, I can't resist. Because your fish is on my list of the best things in life.
Is that what dolphins sing about?
Yummy.
Yes, they eat fish.
And we eat dolphins.
Cause you're fish.
Oh. Why don't you eat my fish? Oh.
Cause your fish is on my fist.
Are you guys on medication?
Yes.
Okay.
It's gonna make
This
for an
is gonna
exciting
be
show.
crazy.
Speaking of medication, so you know how NyQuil has that
Medication?
really nasty medicinal smell?
Yes.
I mean, taste.
Which one?
Medicinal?
NyQuil?
The liquid kind?
I like Dimettab. The
Oh.
grape flavor is awesome.
You're supposed to put that in your mouth?
What's the syringe for then?
Anyway, I found that if you
Eyedropper?
drink a glass of milk right after you take it, it instantly
horrible.
instantly takes away the
So-
medicine taste.
When you have
You
a
should
flu with
mix
like
them.
No.
mucusy type stuff, isn't it a wives' tale? You shouldn't drink milk because it
I think it's an old wives' tale.
could
That's
be
my
young
main-
wives.
Did they have young
Way to
wives'
get-
tails?
Yes, until you get them cut off.
Oh, yeah.
Keep all the old wives' tales in this drawer.
Yes, I had to talk my kids out of one time. They wanted me to dilute the medicine in water. And I'm like, you realize that you just have to drink more of it,
Yeah.
and it's all going to taste bad.
You need to concentrate it.
Yes, you don't want to
Into
dilute
pill
it.
form.
Exactly.
And then you just swallow it.
Or
Except for me,
do something else with it.
pill NyQuil does not work as well as liquid NyQuil.
Oh.
I still like Dimettab. Yummy.
You have to heat it up on the little spoon.
and then inject it.
Inject it.
Yes. I pour it on my breakfast cereal.
That would not make good breakfast cereal. Good breakfast cereal that would not make.
Grape nuts. Now with more grape flavor.
So Dimettab would be good.
Hey, the milk counteracts the medicine flavor.
I don't know why all medicine thinks that nasty cherry flavor is something we want or desire.
Some people
It-
like it.
Yeah,
Cool.
but if you don't like it, then when you eat candy or something that's cherry flavored,
Oh, like
you're like,
Jolly
ew, it tastes
Ranchers?
like medicine.
Or like me, you drink a grape soda, it's like, ooh, this tastes like Dimetab. This is awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Love me some tap.
This tastes like aspirin.
I'm glad you
You're on
finished that
drugs.
word.
Sorry, Mom.
Okay.
Did we put anything else down for
Banter?
banter?
No, it just says 3 in Roman numerals.
No, it says ill.
Oh,
Straight up ill.
I guess this
And then-
font doesn't.
No,
Mixed hands.
I thought of changing the font just for that word, but too much work.
Or you could just put it all in lowercase.
That would.
Oh, I
work,
was going to talk
I
about
guess.
the topic.
Oh, yes.
Do you put that part of yours? I was going to ask you guys what your worst nightmares you've had. Because
My-
my worst nightmare just recently got trumped this past week.
Mm.
My worst one
Yes.
was in the dream. I was in a darkened house, and I was stepping out the back door onto the porch. And as soon as I did so, this really bright light came on above me.
And you realized you were a mogwai?
No,
You gotten wet
but
and it's
this
after midnight.
creature,
Bright light!
this creature with sharp claws jumped on my
Ooh,
shoulders,
baby.
and I shot straight up in bed and probably made a little bit of a yelping sound. I don't know.
That squeak.
So every night when I'm headed to bed, I go and, make sure the front door is locked because it's on the way from the living room to the bedroom.
You have to go outside to get your bedroom?
No, I check the inside of the front
Oh,
door.
okay.
And so one night I'm reaching for the knob to lock it and it starts turning. So I grab it thinking, okay, the person on the other side will think it's locked if I hold it still. But then
Meanwhile, you're looking through the
Don't you
glass
have
window.
don't you have a glass window on your door?
it's kind of high up though.
Oh.
And
so I would
St.
have
Jimmy's
to
kind of
look
short.
out.
Would you look through or not? What would you do?
Well, while I'm holding the knob, the door bursts open and this big Rottweiler lands on my chest.
Max?
And then I
Oh.
sit up in bed and I'm like, ah! And then I realized it
You
was
roll
a
over and your wife's a big Rottweiler.
ah, not again. I mean, that never happened. So, what was yours?
I was going to tell you another one.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
When I was a child, I had a recurring nightmare.
Last year.
Actually, I haven't had this dream since I was a child. But in the dream, I'd be
Last year.
playing outside in the backyard, and all of a sudden, an alien spaceship would appear and start chasing me,
That wasn't a dream.
and I'd start running, and then I would jump on the ground and cover my head, and I'd just sit there for a few minutes, and then when I raised my head, I
You were
was
in bed?
in my bed.
That's where they dropped you off. I was often wonder where you went for a couple hours.
Yeah, right, you're too heavy of a sleeper to...
I thought I was too heavy to get taken into the spaceship. Get the lighter one.
He
This
was a large child.
This was too heavy to drag for me. We're gonna crash. Let go of the child.
I really liked that episode of Next Generation where they were getting kidnapped
Oh, that was a good one.
by trans-dimensional aliens while they're sleeping.
That was pretty good.
Where they were describing what was operating on them to the
the
holodeck,
holodeck, yeah.
and it was like, oh, spot on.
Yeah.
So I think I've described one of my
Well,
recurring nightmares before.
I mean, they did do... No, it was a little more like this. A little
Yeah.
more like, a little bit.
Well,
but
it was different though.
That's true.
It was close enough that they were like, yeah, that's it. But then I don't think it was exactly like
He used a different prop and they actually showed it.
maybe. I don't know.
I don't remember either.
Should watch
Anyway.
it again.
Let's move on.
So I had a recurring one when I was a kid, probably about the same time you had your alien one, where I was just in a darkened room with a spotlight on this metal cylinder, and I had a smaller cylinder inset in the top, but sticking out a little bit.
Geometry dreams.
And they had a countdown on it with red numbers, like an alarm clock.
Oh.
And then when it hit 0, the small cylinder would fall into the big cylinder, and it would just go dark. And that used to scare the crap out of me. I had that at least once every couple weeks.
Wow.
Wow.
Then when I was a teenager, we just watched Fire in the Sky.
Yes.
And I was in the waterbed in my bedroom, and
How'd I get in here?
I had this horrible... Well, actually, I guess this wasn't a dream.
That must have been after I moved out.
Some noise woke me up. Yeah, you were in college. And
Otherwise, you
there
would
was
have been
this
sleeping
bright
in
light.
my waterbed.
This bright light was coming through the bedroom window,
Oh.
lighting me up, and I was freaked out until I recognized the sound. It was a helicopter.
Oh.
So we lived on Air Force Base, and they were doing night maneuvers with a helicopter for some reason over the housing,
Shining lights.
shining bright lights into the
people's
people's
windows.
houses.
Of course. What
It was
else?
based on
practicing.
who had just rented Fire in the Sky, I think. I get the list from the Blockbuster. All right, let's make our rounds. So this past week, I had this really strange dream. I was in a weird city. I was trying to get someplace, and the car kept on changing on me, and I kept on, ended up walking. And I was in this apartment, and there was this monster noise, like a sound.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, I knew it was one of my kids that turned into a monster. So I was going
How
outside.
can you tell the difference? Oh,
I don't know. I'm not sure how I knew, but I knew. I never else was afraid, but I was going to go towards it. So I left the building, went outside, and it was probably a 4 or 5 story building. And I looked up, and my wife is standing on the very edge of the roof,
Whoa.
looking down. And I just tried to say something to her, and she didn't hear me. And she said, "All right, it's time to go." And she just stepped off the roof.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And I tried to catch her, but I misjudged, and she hit the ground
Whoa.
and was dead.
Youch.
And that was at 2:30 in the morning.
He
So I
said,
know it woke
that's
me
what
up.
you get. Oh.
Oh.
It woke me up, and I looked at the clock, and then I couldn't go to sleep for a little bit.
Did you check to make sure your wife was there?
Yes, I made sure she was
Okay.
there. I could hear her CPAP machine. So I'm laying there in my bed looking at my open closet, and it's dark. And I had like very foreboding feeling,
Uh-huh.
like there's something in the closet or something. This is when I woke up. I got up and moved around. Usually if you roll over or move around or get up and go back to bed, it's a different dream. Picked up right where it left off. It was
Oh.
like all the aftermath of me trying to deal with the life after she had died. It was horrible.
Oh, wow.
That is horrible.
And then I ended up getting sick the next day. Coincidence? I think so. Or my body is trying to fight off this infection. Knew something was wrong. Was throwing out uncomfortable feelings, and then
Yeah.
because of my lack of sleep, it lowered my immune system to the point I got sick. Maybe. I don't know.
Interesting theory.
Kooky.
But for the first bit, when I was just staring into my dark closet,
Yes.
I almost felt like I couldn't move. So it was maybe
Sleep
partial.
paralysis.
Oh,
paralysis
sleep
too.
paralysis, yeah.
But I couldn't see the witch sitting on me because I was on my side.
Hmm.
oh,
Oh, that's
that kind of been comfortable for her if you were on your side.
no. Especially when I sleep with knives taped to my side.
I do not recommend that.
You are not going to sit on me, witch. Yeah.
So
No.
no cuddling from the wife then, huh?
No, we got a king size bed. She's way over on the other side.
Oh, okay. She's in the next county.
I get like 1 foot on my side of the bed, and she gets the rest of it.
Oh, that's nice of you.
She takes her half out of the middle, and then it's hard to get to my other half. Because she's in the way.
Oh,
She probably feels the same about me. She's constantly told me to roll over. I'm like, if I roll over, I'm on the floor. She's like, well,
that's the point. Why don't you roll on over to
Yeah.
the couch?
roll on out to the couch.
Oops.
Oh no.
Boom.
Wonder what kind of noise that made.
I don't know. But your mic is now
Mr.
discombobulated.
Pold is not used to the new setup.
No.
You're sick.
Ah.
Uh-oh.
So anyway, I don't recommend having wife dying dreams. It's not fun.
Doesn't
Yeah.
sound fun.
And then I thanked her in the morning. Or when I went to work, she
You
woke up.
thanked her?
I was like, "Thank you for not being dead." She's like, "What?"
Oh. It's one of
It's
the
like,
most
you keep
romantic
saying
things
that.
Go
you've told
near
her.
the edge of a building today, please. I don't need to be made a prophet. And you shouldn't profit off the death of your wife, anyways. It's a dead giveaway.
Kooky.
So yeah, that was replace anything else I'd experienced at that point as being the worst dream ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I was thinking psychologically, what does it mean? Does it mean that sometimes she needs help, and even though I'm trying to help, if I try to catch her, I totally miss the mark?
Yeah, you're just a bad...
Maybe it means that you
husband.
overanalyze your dreams.
That could be too. And which of my kids is the monster? Each of them fessed
All
up
of
that it was
them.
them, but I know I was in the room with one of the other ones. I can't remember which one, so it wasn't him. Probably my oldest. You're a monster.
How could you?
Does he listen to this?
I don't know.
Oh.
Hopefully.
I hope so. All right, should we move on to nerdiculture?
Let's nerd it up.
All right, so since this week we're going to have a day called Valentine's Day,
That's this
What?
week.
Oh, crap.
I thought I'd give a little bit of background on this holiday of sorts.
Are we supposed to do something on that day? I guess we'll get to it.
I cannot give you advice on what to do for your significant spouse
I got my other one. Oh, wait.
on
Do you
this
have an
day.
instant?
So, as you would imagine, Valentine's Day is named after Saint Valentine.
Okay.
Apparently, there
Was
were
he a
3
saint?
Valentines that are honored on the 14th of February.
Saint Valentine, his wife, and their kid.
No.
Oh.
They're different saints. 2 of them are from Rome. One was from in Africa. Not from, but in Africa. I don't know. There's not much known about
I
any
guess
of
it
them.
rains down in Africa. It's right here.
Yes, it's going to take a lot to get through this segment. And your little dog too,
Kansas?
Toto.
Toto.
So the only thing that's known definitively about these men is that they were killed for being Christians.
So Valentine's a happy holiday.
Well,
Does it mean that's what happens if you don't get something? I get it.
they were killed by their spouse because they didn't buy them a gift. No. They were killed for being Christians.
Oh.
Um,
Was one of them a sister?
so one of them, it's said that one of them was arrested and brought before the emperor, and the emperor told him, if you convert to paganism, then you won't be killed.
Wait, this sounds awful familiar.
And Saint Valentine said,
Your sister.
no. So Saint Valentine tried to convince him to become a Christian, and it didn't work.
And so the emperor tried to have
So while he was
St. Valentine's father chase him around with a sword.
No. So while he was in prison, though, he healed the jailer's daughter of blindness,
Oh.
and that caused 46 members of that jailer's family to become Christians.
Interesting.
So there are lots of legends about Saint Valentine. Take your pick which one it's about, but
St. Valentine's Massacre.
one of the that came much
A
later.
whole group of men forgot to get something.
So, some of the legends say that that this Saint Valentine gave a card to the jailer's daughter that was signed "Your Valentine." I'm thinking that's very iffy. I don't
Wrong.
think that happened.
You are incorrect, sir.
Another legend says that he was illegally performing weddings for soldiers that were not permitted to be married.
Oh, because they're marrying each other?
No. No, because supposedly the emperor needed them to
Be
be
celibate.
better soldiers and not have families. But history has shown that there was never any rule like that, so this is also very iffy.
Well,
Wah,
the
wah.
Jedi did have a similar rule.
Yeah,
Probably
it's
based
true.
on that.
So
Yes.
apparently Star Wars is based on Valentine's.
Well, you know, the research I've done on the Roman Empire makes me think a lot of the Star Wars. Anyway, that's for another show. There's another legend that says he cut out paper hearts and sent them to persecuted Christians so they can remember that God loved them.
Wow.
At what point was the heart symbol the heart, like it is today?
You know what? I didn't have time to research that, but I did start looking into that. It's kind of interesting. Maybe for another show.
Way easier to draw than a real heart.
Well, from what little I did read about it, they used to draw the aorta on the heart too, along with the 2 chambers.
Weird.
Anyway, there's another one that says that he wore a ring with Cupid on it so that he could be identified to the Roman soldiers, that he'd be willing to marry them.
What?
I don't know why a Christian would
And
wear...
to point out who you wanted to marry, you shot him with an arrow. It's her over there.
Anyway, I think most of those legends can be shot down.
To the heart.
Straight through the
heart.
And you're to blame.
You give love a bad name.
So historically, I mean, both these saints lived in the 3rd century before the Roman Empire
BC?
adopted Christianity. 80.
Obviously.
Yes.
The Christians.
And from that time, for centuries, Valentine's Day on February 14th was a day associated with spring coming. Which I guess back then the
way off.
calendar was a little bit different than we have today.
So we're celebrating it in the wrong time.
So spring started near the end of February back then, instead of the middle of March. Anyway,
Kooky.
Do not interfere with the Ides
the first written
of March.
record we have of Valentine's Day being associated with
1983.
romance was 1382.
Oh, that was close.
Geoffrey Chaucer wrote a poem called Parliament of Fowls. Like birds.
Oh, I like making fun of his legislative body. So he's running around squawking like chickens.
And he wrote it to honor the anniversary of King Richard II.
Is that the Lionheart?
I don't know.
Oh.
Excuse me?
The kitten heart.
That's why the aorta disappeared from the heart. Looked more like a lion.
But the way he refers to it in the poem, it sounds like it was a tradition that had already been going on. We just don't know when exactly it started. And it could have been that he wrote the poem on around the 3rd of May, which was a different St. Valentine's Day. There were multiple St. Valentines, apparently.
Weird.
They had different days.
Valentino.
Let's see. So, Valentine's Day celebrations associated with love and romance really began around the 15th century.
So getting takeout Chinese.
And the practice of sending Valentine cards started in the late 18th century. So it's been around a while.
Oh, longer than some other holidays, I guess.
Yeah. So last Valentine's Day, I guess it's story time. I was on a business trip with some of my associates from work. And there was 4 of us.
Your
guys.
sister. Oh.
And we didn't even think about it being Valentine's Day.
Oops.
And so when we went to go out to dinner like we do every night, the restaurants were packed.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to wait for like 45 minutes to get a table, which is pretty short.
Those old guys.
For how, yeah.
You should have tried to get a table at the Blue Oyster.
Well, the funny thing is, I can't remember the name of I think it was Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, that's a good place.
So while we were waiting, 2 of the guys decided to go and look at this video game store or something that was nearby. And so me and the other guy were waiting there. And so when they called our name, we told them, yeah, we're ready. Our dates are on the way.
And then the guy showed up and they're like, oh.
Yeah, so it was pretty funny.
That is funny.
You pull out the chair for him. He's like, what are you doing?
Let's go along with it.
It's part
So
of
that we
the
can get the
story. Part of the story.
So then we argued over who was whose date.
table. As one would.
Yes. Anyway, do you guys have any funny Valentine stories?
It's my parent-in-law's anniversary.
Oh, cool.
Which is romantic. A lot more romantic than my anniversary.
The Ides of March?
Yeah.
I told you to beware the Ides of March.
It's the day after
But
Randy
it's
Moss's
easy
birthday.
to remember.
Yes, it is. I even remember it.
Yeah, everybody remembers it.
It's the day after Randy Moss's birthday.
That's how DVD remembers it.
He just got voted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I saw
First
that.
ballot. It's only the second time the wide receiver's been voted in for first ballot Hall of Fame. The other one is Jerry Rice.
The funny
That's
thing is,
romantic.
he mooned the crowd after. No, just
He
kidding.
did.
Fake mooned.
Where's this T-shirt I want that has that on it? Anyway, that's all. I don't have many.
we
Valentine's
Did he ever
Days.
play with Warren Moon?
No,
Oh,
We
Just
tried
checking.
to
Yeah, he
not
did.
go out to
his first year.
places that would be busy on Valentine's Day.
Second,
Yeah.
I think. One of those years.
We're fine with celebrating it the next day or something.
oh, okay.
So
We don't often celebrate it every year. Sometimes we do. Most times we don't.
I'd rather just stay in and get a movie and
What kind of
Pick the
movie?
something gory,
So Valentine's Day movie.
something where
About the vet massacre.
yeah. All the blood means I love you.
It's red. Look, you just ripped that heart out for you.
Yeah, we always watch Temple of Doom.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Kalima. Kalima.
I saw it's on either Netflix or Amazon,
Amazon, I
Prime
think,
right
all
now.
around Amazon.
Yeah. Right after I get it on DVD. That's how
That's
it
how it
works.
works.
I have it on DVD as well.
I also have it on DVD.
Because for the longest time, you couldn't get it streaming.
Yeah.
So I bought it, and
I
now
got all
you
4 of
can.
them.
They're like, well,
I do too.
we've sold enough of them on
And they're
DVD.
putting Lord of the
ID4.
Rings on there.
Yeah.
I bought those too.
I saw that one on there also. I thought about watching it again. It's good.
Anyway, that's all I had on Valentine's Day.
Excellent.
It wasn't really that interesting, but
Well, we had a good
Somewhat
conversation
interesting.
about it.
It's almost as interesting as what we're going to talk about for Technerdy.
Oh,
They should
yay.
have 2 Valentine's Days. The first one should be on the 13th, where the wife buys the husband a present, and then based on what he gets, he buys her a present.
oh,
That way, if she doesn't get one, he knows he's off the hook.
Oh, yeah.
And off the hook. You know what I mean?
and it'll remind him that the day's coming up.
Yeah.
All holidays should be
Oh,
like
you
that.
gave me a Valentine's Day gift. That must mean I need to go to the store tonight.
Yes, and guy gave one for tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, for Technergy, we're going to talk about our gut biome.
How do you
My-
know 8 people?
So,
My gut just said, holla.
Which is a mispronunciation of hola.
Yes.
Which I didn't realize until I was an adult.
I got my gut flora and fauna from Mexico. No, just kidding. I've never been to Mexico.
okay.
They
So,
say don't drink the water,
They're
but you
finding
know.
out more and more how your microbes in your intestines affect your
Your
body.
probes or microbes?
Our crobes.
Apparently,
Ew.
they
I don't
do
wanna
a
share
lot with
microbes.
your hormones, your immune system. They can affect your mood.
That's why koala babies eat mom. No, never mind.
That's why cows are always in such a good mood, because they have 7 stomachs.
You mean a good
Oh.
mood?
So I'll start about this study they did. So they were studying mice, and they were
Eating them. See how they ever affected their intestinal system.
Get in my belly.
Hopefully,
No.
orally.
So they were testing
Gross.
Sorry, Mom.
something
I'm
to
on
do with
medication.
cancer on these mice, and so they were actually implanting.
Wait, did he just say there's pants on these mice?
No.
Implants.
Oh, okay, got it.
They were
Sorry, my ears are a little
It's like
plugged, plus I'm
pants.
wearing a hat.
It's like pants, but better, like implants.
So they had these mice, and they were basically implanting a small tumor under their skin.
Not the tumor.
They're in pants.
And they noticed that half the mice, their immune system fought the cancer. It says rigorously in this Wired article.
Rigorously.
And the other mice didn't.
And the mice that didn't were already dead, right?
Well, they got the 2 mice from different places.
They're getting a bad Amazon review.
Oh.
So, but they noticed once they mixed the mice together in the same cage, the mice that weren't doing very well against the cancer started doing better.
Mix our mice.
No, keep your mice away from my mice. So what they figured out is it had to do with the bacteria in the mice's intestines. And the reason that when they put the mice in the same cage, that the mice started doing better that weren't originally, it's because
They're eating each other's poop.
mice eat each other's feces.
So like koala bears.
Yes. Which might be...
Sounds like a quality diet.
It
That's
might
all the qualifications of one.
be that they do that in order to build up their gut biome. So they're going to start doing
I had a
this
gut
with
feeling
people.
you'd say that.
Why doesn't it go the other way?
Maybe. I don't know.
What?
Is there bad bacteria?
Their
that
lack
might-
of bacteria
Well,
is
just-
catching.
You can't just put any bacteria in your.
Right. So what this group is doing is they're trying to figure out what specific microbes are producing these effects. So they're doing monoclonal studies where they just put one, like they
I'm
give,
monoclonal.
they give you a pill that has like billions of one specific bacteria and see what your body does with that. And they're trying to find specific ones that would be treatments for specific diseases.
Oh, this one makes
So-
your skin turn yellow.
That could
Makes you
happen.
jaundice.
Yes.
So 99% of the microbes in your body are in your intestines,
Large or small.
both combined. Medium.
You're a medium contestant.
Yes.
You're the next intestine on The Price is Right.
That'd be a funny picture, wouldn't
Yeah. Draw that.
Gross.
He's a large intestine.
So they do things like if you are on really harsh antibiotics for long enough, it could actually kill off a lot of your bacteria.
Yes.
And you won't be able to process food
At all.
the right way. And so they will actually take...
Have you your poop?
No, they'll take other
before.
people's
Koala poop.
feces and insert them into your large intestine
That sounds
Not mine.
horrible.
to build up your microbiome. So
I don't think that's a good idea.
in the future, what they want
Sounds
is
messy.
pills that you could
You're
swallow.
trying to get it out of prison? Or into prison?
I don't know
So
what you're talking
that's
about.
how you smuggle stuff.
Oh.
We wouldn't know.
I've heard.
So in the future, they want it to just be a pill that you could swallow that has
Instead
all
of
of
an
the right
enema?
mix.
It has their feces in it?
No, it would just have this
It'd be in a gel tablet.
the specific
tablet.
bacteria that you need.
Oh, okay.
So this
Not
could
the actual.
this could be used for to fight cancer. So what it does is certain bacteria activate your body to create certain type of immune cells.
Would it fight Taurus like DVD is?
Uh-oh.
Just kidding.
They said this could work. I'm trying to find that list.
There's a list on Mr. Grinch.
So it could. I'm trying to remember what they said. Oh, here we go. Maybe not.
Yeah, colon, lung.
Oh, those are
melanoma,
different types
renal.
of cancers. It said like it could help fight other things like I can't remember what it's called now.
Oh, like gastroenteritis.
Here it is. Multiple sclerosis,
Oh, yeah.
arthritis, asthma, inflammatory bowel disease, and diabetes.
There's Dr. Jordan Peterson. You know who that is?
Yes.
Clinical psychologist. His daughter suffered from rheumatoid arthritis when she was young, to the point that she had to have, I think, a knee and a hip replaced when she was 16.
Whoa.
Because it was because of an autoimmune
Yeah.
disorder, and she did research and fixed it just by changing her diet. So now
Wow.
she just does meat and greens.
So that may have affected her microbiome.
And her dad has the same autoimmune, not the same disease, but similar.
Mm-hmm.
And so she got him to do the same diet, and it fixed his health problems as well.
Wow.
Check your local listings.
So
and
in the
doctor.
future, this could even be tailored to help you lose weight or, other
Yeah,
things
if you have to eat
like
someone
that.
else's feces, it's going to make you a lot less appetite. It's hard to get the mice to poo on the plate.
Oh, you are sick.
I'm on
He
medication.
is. That's why he's on medication.
Is that a picture of
What?
bear dentistry?
No, they're doing Ebola vaccines on
That's
apes.
a baboon.
Oh.
I shouldn't have scrolled down to the pictures, apparently.
Shouldn't have.
DVD's
It's
easily distracted.
And that's Technerdigy.
Awesome.
Blossom. That show from the 90s?
Whoa.
That's not from Blossom,
Yeah, it
is
was.
it? Oh, was it?
That was her brother Joey.
Oh, that's right.
From Friends?
No,
No.
same guy.
Oh.
So my new story has to do with the animal kingdom as well.
Wow, all three of ours did. Oh,
I
wait.
thought
So-
you were going to talk about the...
I will. I got
Oh.
two.
Okay.
So back in the 90s, early 90s, it was popular.
1990s?
A popular pet choice in Europe. Keep on hitting that thing. Was crawfish, imported from the United States.
A pet?
Crawfish.
Yeah, for pets.
Like crawdads?
Like
Yeah, like
crayfish?
the crustaceans.
Oh.
They're like small
Yummy.
crabs
Yes.
or lobsters, I guess.
Yes.
More
I've-
like lobsters.
I caught a
I've
fish
played with
once
those
that
before.
had
You can eat
one
gumbo
of those
with them.
in its mouth.
Lots of people I've talked to this week have said they enjoy eating them, which is good. Because just from the early 90s, they have actually divided into their own subspecies that doesn't require two of them to make more.
What?
In fact, all of them are female.
Whoa.
And so they somehow can make their...
Clever girl.
Like,
Exactly. Jurassic Park. So people that buy one within a year could have 100 of them in their
ooh,
cage.
delicious.
Oh, it's like tribbles,
Exactly.
but edible.
Isn't that weird?
Tribbles are edible, right? I hope.
There's not much meat after you get all the hair off.
There's just more of them inside.
Wool. Tribble wool.
And the reason why they made good, they decided to try them as pet animals because they are really easy to breed. In fact, so easy they only need one apparently.
And they're fun to pet.
Well, they climb around and stuff. It's like
I
here,
have played with them before.
in the mid-90s here, there was hermit crabs were a big.
Kermit the Frog crabs?
Hermit.
Oh.
In fact, my friend had a couple and go to his house and we'd sit them on the table and they'd walk around. You know, like
This is what we did before the internet, people.
we barely had the internet. I think we had Net Zero and AOL dial-up.
In 91.
This is 96. So anyway, unfortunately, a lot of people also put them in, if they don't want them anymore. Let's say you have way too many because it's been reproducing on its own. They'll release them into the wild.
You can eat
You
them.
can transport them onto a Klingon ship.
So yeah, maybe we need some French people from Mississippi to start making some gumbo over there.
Yeah.
Because lots of people eat them.
Wheat.
Wheat. Anyways. But they're an invasive species now because they don't need two to replicate.
They're replicants.
Yes. So if you're in Europe, just chow down on some crustaceans.
All right.
The second thing that happened this week
Crusty.
is SpaceX launched
Oh,
their
yeah.
Falcon Heavy rocket, which was one main booster with two side rockets.
And a car.
And there was their spaceship on the front, or a representation of...
Shaped like a car.
No, the car was inside.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, it's an indoor car.
Right. So they launched it. The launch went awesome. It worked perfectly well.
Did it prove that the Earth is a sphere?
No.
No, because people don't believe Elon Musk, I
Hey,
guess.
if the Earth isn't flat, why are the bottom of your shoes flat?
They aren't. Mine are convex. Just kidding.
Well, it's fun. As a side note, that guy that claims he wants to go up in a rocket of his own making to prove the Earth is flat,
Yes.
he had to scrub his rocket launch recently.
He was too afraid of being
No, he was
proven
in it.
wrong.
He was in it, and he had a failure of some kind, so he had to scrub the mission. He's only planning on getting to 1,300 feet, I believe, though.
1,300?
think
Why
that's
doesn't he
enough.
just fly in an airplane?
No, it takes 30,000 feet to visually see the curvature of the Earth.
1,300 feet.
Airplanes. They have airplanes.
Just
probably
go to New York,
jump that
go to
high.
a building and climb. And anyway. That's what the story said. I don't know if they're
Go
making
He
on.
wants to
fun of
go
them.
Airplane.
just high enough to not be able to make it.
So
a
the
proof
cool thing
either
with what
way.
they've been trying to do was they want to reuse the rocket. He was basically made the analogy, the way we use rockets now, it'd be like getting in an airplane, and you can make it way more efficient if there's no landing gear or flaps. So you can cut weight and stuff, and then when you get to your destination, you just bail out of it and just let it crash wherever. That's kind of
Right.
what we did with rockets to this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the middle rocket didn't make it back.
Oh,
It
and he crushed our boy.
They were that one was supposed to land in the ocean on a robotic barge designed for that to catch it, and apparently it hit at 300 miles per hour, 100 yards from the barge,
Oh, oops.
and disintegrated, sending
Is
shrapnel and water all over the barge.
Is the barge okay?
I think so. That's why it's robotic.
Uh,
The other two, however, the side rockets, both came down and landed in unison. So it's basically looks like a reverse launch, where they fire retro rockets and they decelerate until they just touch down.
Wow.
nice.
And the side rockets, to tell you how big they are, they have a 60-foot span between the legs, and they're 16 stories tall.
Whoa.
So they're attached?
They're attached when they launch, and then they detach and they come back and land.
But they're
Each
not
one has
attached to each
multiple
other.
legs.
They're
Oh,
not
I
attached
got
to each
it.
other.
Got
Yeah,
it.
they have legs to land on.
Big. 60 feet.
Yep.
That's like from home base to first base.
Now, what gets buried in the coolness of
Pitcher's
all
mound or
this and the
something.
videos is the payload that they use. Normally, when they're testing rockets, they'll just put a hunk of concrete in there that test weight or whatever.
Yes.
Well, Elon doesn't roll that way. I see that was boring, and he wanted to inspire people and have some fun, so he put his Tesla Roadster in it with one of the prototypes
How
of
did
their.
he get home?
Well, he didn't drive it. They actually they spent a lot of money designing a spacesuit.
For the car?
No, for other projects.
Oh.
We said the spacesuit's actually really difficult to design.
So he
It's really cool
rode
to make
in
it look cool, but it's hard to make it look cool and be functional.
Yeah.
Which they succeeded in. Like they call it Starman. So they put a mannequin with this in it in the driver's seat of the Tesla. And he said if you look really closely at the picture, a friend of his, or Matchbox or Hot Wheels made a Tesla car. So his friend told me, oh, you should put like a little spaceman in that and put it on the dashboard. So if you look closely, there is a miniature version of it on the dashboard. And a lot of the pictures, he said, look fake, but that's mostly because everything's really crisp because there's no atmosphere to distort it at all. So the colors all look weird too.
Oh, so this is an actual picture?
That's an actual picture of the Tesla in space. And they're like, well, how are you going to track it where it's going and blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, the battery after launch will last 12 hours. It's just a normal car, a Tesla.
The turn signal got left on.
And so they're like, well, okay. It's like, yeah, it's just going to head off into deep space. It'll probably be out there for millions of years. He has hopes that some future alien race will find it and be really confused.
Or be like the Klingons and just shoot it out of the sky.
I thought it was supposed to go into orbit around Mars.
Well, it's going to circle the sun and then go past Mars, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know. That's
or it'll
hit
the Earth and cause widespread... Oh, just kidding.
I also heard that radiation is basically going to quickly degrade it.
It's like it doesn't have any like
it'll
space
suck the paint
materials.
off it and
it doesn't have
give it a
normal
permanent
seats.
orange afro. Oh.
It's a convertible, so it's just exposed to the vacuum of space.
That's why he's wearing a space suit.
Yes, because it's a convertible. I don't think you could. It doesn't look like it'd fit with the top up.
The spacesuit's pretty big.
Anyway, I thought that was really cool, and the fact that they launched it. And he's like, he didn't believe it would work, the recovery of spacecraft. But they're to the point that they're talking about their actual space vehicle. They want to try to get so you don't have the rockets attached, but you could launch their spacecraft. They said a lot of stuff. I mean, getting to Mars, the difficult part is getting the fuel into space. But if you have a ship that you can launch and have just an orbit, he's like, he wants redundancy, so you could have a couple of them up there. And they could just launch fuel in different rockets, get them all up there, fuel it up, and off you go. They don't have to worry about the weight of the fuel or the space you need to carry enough weight of fuel to get into orbit.
Right.
It's really cool. They're designed a cool tank for their spacecraft that it's very large, and it's made out of carbon fiber, I think. And they had to make a matrix and they had to. He's like, we tested it to its strength and then beyond. He said when it blew up, it shot like 300 feet in the air or something into the water, and they had to go fish it out. We'll look at the failure modes. It's really cool. And Elon Musk is cool.
Yeah.
Just himself, he's like, was pretty. I mean, he's like any guy that engineers something like that. All he's thinking the whole time it's launching, whatever, is checking off the things that could go wrong. And then he was like surprised when it worked, which is good considering how much they've spent on it. And he actually hopes that this will spawn a space race. He's like, races are fun and exciting, and he hopes other companies
will launch their cars.
Yeah, take stuff that he has and
that's the cool thing is he gives out information so other people can do it. It's like awesome.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
That is really cool.
And that's the news.
Thank you.
If you want to support the Enginerdy Show, like the people that helped us buy these new mic stands and pop filters, you can go to enginerdyshow.com and click through the Amazon link to do your Amazon shopping. It doesn't cost you any extra, and it gives us a little bit of money.
So we can improve the show.
Yeah. You can also go and get a t-shirt there, or a hoodie, or a mug with our Enginerdy Show Vulcan Salute logo. That's on the shop tab at enginerdyshow.com. So check it out.
All right. I think DVD and I already have consumption.
Feels like it.
But I'll start first. I watched Assassin's Bodyguard, I think it was called, with Ryan Reynolds and what's his name? Snakes on a Plane dude. Jurassic Park.
Samuel L.
Jackson.
Yes, it's very
Nick
funny.
Fury.
Yes. It was pretty good.
I was thinking Snoop Dogg when he said Snakes on a Plane.
Snoop Dogg.
He was on that?
No, he's on Soul Plane.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, the basic premise is there's a bodyguard that's hired to bodyguard an assassin. And sometimes the assassin is better at his job than he is.
It's funny. I like it.
It's pretty good. I also watched Alf.
Alien Life Form?
Yes, the late 80s TV show. They have it streaming. Some, not all episodes, but a lot of the episodes are streaming on Amazon Prime right now.
Oh.
Excellent.
So if you haven't seen it, it's basically the story of a alien life form that crash lands in some family's garage, and then they decide to keep him.
Part of the family.
He eats cats.
Yes, well, he does dream of eating Lucky the cat, who lives there too. He's played by a puppet. And
there's a spin-off cartoon.
Yes, he's voiced by the producer. Of
Oh,
the
really?
Show. Yes.
That's a good way to save money.
Apparently, all the other actors on the show hated working on that show.
You could tell.
Funny.
Alf didn't, though. He enjoyed it.
And so that's, if you watch it, the dad of the family is very...
He's exasperated a lot.
Yes, and I think that's because that's how he was in real life with the show.
Oh,
Well, it took
good
long
acting.
hours to do the program because they had to have a
with a
special stage for the puppet to be going on. And,
Yeah.
and I guess all the good lines went to Alf, was the complaint for most of the cast. When he does have some good lines. Then I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
I can't remember if I've seen that.
I've seen
It's not as completely horrible as I thought it might be.
That's the one with Rocksteady and Bebop, right?
Yes.
See, I don't remember if I've seen it.
It's got the guy that plays Arrow in it as Casey Jones.
Yeah.
My favorite character is Michelangelo. He's pretty funny. But let's see. I finished Supernatural season 4.
Noob.
That's the... I know. It's the season where they introduce the angels and stuff.
Oh, okay. So I love some of the episodes.
I'm halfway through season 5 now.
Have you gotten to the ones... Anyway, there's some that like break the fourth wall, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think in that season they find a guy that's been publishing
Their story,
supernatural books. He's been getting... I guess he's a prophet.
Right.
So he writes
Can see
what's
what
going to
they're
happen to
doing, yeah.
them. Yes. And in season 5, there's an episode where they end up they get invited to a convention, supernatural convention. And there's all these other people walking around. And, I'm Sam and Dean. Yeah. Anyway, it's pretty funny.
Weird.
There
was a good Stargate SG-1 episode like that. Somebody was making a Stargate TV show.
I don't know if I should spoil the plot of a future one for you. But they go to university, an all-women's university, I think. And they have a stage play of the...
I have heard about that. My wife has seen all the episodes, so she's told me that's coming up.
It's funny.
I watched Death Note.
Oh, yeah.
The
The
Netflix...
cartoon or the...
No, the
movie?
Netflix-produced movie based on the Japanese cartoon.
I like the movie better.
So
cartoon.
I thought I found it, and it was the Japanese cartoon, so then I'm like, I know there's a movie. So I went and found the movie and watched that instead. It was pretty good. I didn't really like how it ended.
Willem Dafoe was the...
Yes, Willem Dafoe was pretty good as the
I like him.
demon. The voice of the demon. I watched comedians in cars getting coffee.
Which one?
I've watched probably...
Do you see the Jim
7
Carrey
or
one?
8 episodes. That's the first one.
Yeah.
I saw that one. I saw the Alec Baldwin one, the Colbert one, Sarah Jessica Parker one.
They killing zombies or vampires?
No. What was that? Some of the other actors I saw. Anyway, I've seen a half dozen of them. They're pretty good.
It's on Netflix.
Yes. And then I went to DVD's house and watched Super Bowl 52.
Oh, that was LII. LII.
It's
52.
LII.
I saw it at home. It was good.
I'm actually glad I watched it.
Yeah.
It's weird when you don't care really the outcome. Like I didn't. I was rooting for one player.
Yeah.
It made it more enjoyable, and plus it was a good game.
Rooting against one team and one player.
So you enjoyed the ending then?
Yes.
It was exciting the entire
It was
game.
very exciting.
Yes, it was exciting the entire game.
Had the crotch catch.
Yes. We were rolling on the
It
floor.
was so funny. It was hilarious.
And they don't show it on any of the highlights.
No, you got to go find it.
You know
It's
what?
embarrassing.
You know what's funny is I found where someone was comparing it to a wrestling move. I think it's called the Power Slam, maybe. But it had a 2.5 minute or 3 minute video of just a compilation of wrestlers doing the Power Slam, I think it's called.
Right.
Where basically they get the guy on their shoulders with their, facing each other, and then they slam them down on the ground. Which didn't
like something
quite
my kids would
happen
do.
in the Super Bowl,
No,
but it was close enough to make me chuckle.
it was very funny.
Yes, for some reason, if you hadn't watched the game, one of the...
And you're not sure if it's a runner yet or not.
we'll get to that. One of the Patriots players caught the ball and decided to try to leap over a defender.
He
That
just
was
stood up
standing
into
up.
But the defender was standing up, so the leaper's crotch ended up right into the face mask of the defender.
I was just thinking he's lucky he had one of those plastic shields.
It stopped him dead in his tracks, and then he was unceremoniously dumped onto the ground.
And it forced them to kick a field goal
that they'd missed.
that they missed.
Yes, which was even more hilarious.
Yes.
I was like, after the game, people were like, "Was it windy in the dome or in the
No.
indoor stadium?" No.
Well, that was a bad catch by the...
Well,
I
I think
was
the
missed
Eagles
too.
kicker was a rookie, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know what was wrong with Guskowski.
He didn't miss very many in the rookie.
Well, I
Didn't
know
miss
the one field goal miss was because it was snapped into the
crotch.
crotch
Right
of
after
the player
right after the
holding the
crotch.
Oh,
ball.
it through his hands. I
Yes.
think it was the holder's fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
but They were trying
Laces
to blame
out.
it on
The snapper.
No, the paint on the field.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like,
Snapper.
they're kicking from that big logo. That must be the problem. I'm
And
like,
maybe it's
whatever.
oil-based paint. Maybe
yeah,
it should use
because
oil-based
no
paint.
fields have logos on them.
Yes.
Uh,
And I find it hilarious that you see the Patriots apologists coming out
yeah.
trying to come up with reasons why they lost when they were just literally outplayed.
So I saw a meme where it had a picture of the Eagles logo painted on the Vikings field. It's like, Coach Zimmer can't wait for the Super Bowl to be over so he can say, the bottom one is a picture of him saying, "Get off my lawn." He's a crotchety old man.
Yeah, there were a couple of touchdowns that the commentators just went over and over about how this
There's
is
no way this is a
I
touchdown.
read an article,
Right.
and this was probably one of the worst announced games, or Super Bowls
you could
ever.
tell they were totally biased toward the Patriots.
Yeah.
Especially,
Well, they
The
just
Bengals
assumed
receiver.
they just assumed that the Patriots were going to win the whole time. They were
Right.
showing like, oh, here's all the Super Bowl rings the Patriots have, and
Yeah.
they'll have this many after this game. And like twice they mentioned that Philadelphia had never won one, but look at the Patriots will have this cool ring. It's like,
Well, and then it was ridiculous. The second touchdown that they were like all
where he
worried about, like, was he a runner or not?
that was
he only took
ridiculous.
4 steps.
Where yeah,
And
he,
then dove.
he takes 4 steps with the ball,
Yeah, that's the thing.
dives, breaks the plane, and then the ball hits the ground the ball hits the ground when you spike it after you score a touchdown.
Right.
But they were like, well, if he was, if they decide he was a runner, will that count? They're acting like he caught it and then immediately went to the ground in the end zone.
Right. Instead of taking 4 steps and diving
Yeah,
over
if
a
he
defender.
was in mid-dive and caught it while he was diving and landed on the ground like that, that would not be a catch.
Right.
Sometimes.
But he had the ball and was
Because
running
I've
with
seen it
it.
called another way,
That's
too.
the thing is the NFL catch rules are so weird
Well,
compared to college.
They're going to be looking at him this offseason and try to see if they can tweak him again.
have heard that.
So there were
I think you should just have a timer. As soon as it touches your hands, you have this long to hold on to it. Otherwise, it's
there were two trick plays that stood out.
Oh yeah.
The first was one where
Uh,
Brady looks very wooden and weird when he like kind of hustles over to the side to become a receiver, and then he misses the throw that's thrown to him.
I'm gonna say that was a bad throw. You know the dude can't run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And then the
It was
Eagles
pretty
quarterback,
high. That was beautifully done.
I mean, he looked like
Boise
he knew
State
what he was
play.
doing.
Yeah, it did look like a Boise State.
weird. They had a Boise State player on their team
Shocking.
Yes. So,
who
Preparation.
was for some reason traded mid-season from your Dolphins
I know.
to the Super Bowl, eventually Super Bowl winning Eagles.
Yes, you're welcome.
Well,
Eagles.
some players just fit in some places and not others.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
Well,
you guys
the-
need new ownership.
I mean, the Dolphins did go 1-1 with the Patriots this year, so
Did they
At
have
least
a
have
Jai
that.
when they won?
I think they did.
don't remember.
I think that wasn't that the game where he
It was near the end of the season,
had like
so I
200
don't think
yards
so.
or something.
Oh.
Oh,
But anyway,
yeah, it was a good game.
yeah, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much if the Patriots had one. But hey, they just set another Super Bowl record. They now have a tied record. Well, they didn't set one. They tied a record with the Broncos for the most Super Bowls lost by any team. 5.
Nice.
It's like Brett Favre holding the interception record.
Yeah.
I guess this was also the highest number of yards in a game.
Yeah.
Is this?
They
is that,
broke that record
I
in
think
like
Brady
the
broke
third
the
quarter.
passing yardage
Right.
record also. In that
Yes.
game.
Which isn't necessarily a good thing to have the
No.
most passing yards, because that means that you're playing from behind the whole time.
Yeah.
Because
Which
otherwise,
they-
if you're ahead, you tend to run the
more.
ball more.
Yeah.
So
I
anyway,
don't think they could have.
They didn't do much running.
What I liked about the
No.
game, honestly, made it really enjoyable, was despite a couple of the reviews of touchdowns, which
Yeah.
happened anyway,
right?
the refs stayed out of the game.
Yeah, there were
They did.
hardly any penalties.
In fact, you could see him kind of chuckling every time they'd false start and make him throw a flag. He's like, "What are you guys doing?
Yeah, they penalized the.
I'm gonna let you
the-
hold anyway, so it doesn't
I
matter."
think they penalized the Patriots once and the Eagles like 6 times. But they
Most
were.
of the Eagles were false starts, I think.
Yes, they were
Yeah.
small 5
And there was a
yard.
block in the back, I think was
penalties.
called once.
Yeah.
Which must have been obvious. Because Gene Steratore, whatever his name is, he was just enjoying being at the Super Bowl on the field, I think.
Oh, kind of like Donovan McNabb was last time the Eagles played the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Right.
That guy had no hustle in the fourth quarter. It was like, dude, you're only.
Well, then he came to the Vikings, had no hustle at all.
Oh, yeah.
We called him one hop because every pass he threw would hit the ground first. It's not four square. You can't do that.
Well,
Bounce pass it to me.
I went out with some guys from work and a coworker that's retired now and saw 12 Strong.
Oh, I've heard that's good.
Never heard of it.
it. Based on the book, The Horse Soldiers, it's the true story of the first American soldiers to go into Afghanistan after
Oh.
9/11.
Uh-huh.
And they basically get airlifted in and they embed with this warlord and his soldiers, and they have to ride horses everywhere because that's all they have.
Mm-hmm.
And they were there basically just to aid the warlord in fighting the Taliban by providing air support. So they would show up to these places that the Taliban were dug in and, tell the plane where to drop the bombs, and then they would just bomb the crap out of them, and then the warlord and his soldiers would go in and take out
Clean
whoever
up.
survived. And it was really good. I liked it.
Is this in theaters?
Yeah, it stars Chris Hemsworth,
Oh,
and it's got a lot of other recognizable guys in it too. So I recommend it. It was pretty amazing.
What day did you see it? Did you see it on Thursday?
No, I didn't. I saw it last Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And I watched a movie called Secret in Their Eyes. It has
you sure it wasn't secrete in their eyes?
To what?
Chiwetel
okay.
Ejiofor. I can't remember his exact name, but the guy from Serenity that plays the agent. It's
Yes.
got. Oh, I should probably just look it up because I can't remember their names. But Julia Roberts is in it, and
She's still alive?
yes,
She's my favorite horror movie.
Another actress. I'm trying to remember her name.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
No, it's
Jules Verne.
Nicole Kidman.
Oh,
You're kidding me.
Dean Norris is in it, and Michael
Oh,
Kelly.
Dean Norris. He's from Breaking Bad.
yeah, he's the other one.
I
Yeah,
like
he's
him.
pretty good in it. So
He was my favorite character in that show.
it flashes back between two time periods, like the present and 13 years earlier, and they're all in the earlier time period. They're all associated with this counterterrorism task force from like right after 9/11. But Julia Roberts' character's daughter gets murdered, and it turns out the murderer is a confidential informant for the counterterrorism group, and he gets away with it, and it flashes back and forth between the investigation in the past and in the present time or the future or whatever. Chiwetel's character thinks he's found him, and they're trying to catch him. So it was pretty good. At first, it takes you a minute to realize what time period they're in, but you have to notice things like he's got a little bit of gray in his hair, or her hair is shorter, or Dean Norris is limping in one and not the other, and it was pretty good. And then I was like trying to figure out how. Well, I figured they would catch him at the end, but it doesn't end up exactly the way you would think. So I thought it was decent. A little slow at times.
What do you watch it on?
I don't know.
Amazon, probably.
Maybe. I can't recall. But
YouTube.
no, it wasn't YouTube. It was either Netflix or Amazon. I can find out. But.
That's fine. It doesn't matter.
And the other thing, DVD also watched the Cloverfield Paradox.
Yes, please. I wasn't sure I was going to watch it because it looked scary on the preview I saw in the Super Bowl, but I decided to watch it.
Huh. I was thinking of watching it. I haven't yet.
And I watched it without... No, I guess it was Minecrafting.
Without nightmares? Oh, wait, you did have a nightmare.
That was after, or before
Yes.
I watched it.
Oh, okay.
The nightmare was Tuesday night.
Oh.
So it's in the Cloverfield universe, but it's set in the nearish future, like maybe 30 years, I guess, because the Earth is in an energy shortage, and they're trying to develop a technology involving a particle accelerator and the Higgs boson, but they're testing it out on this space station because it's dangerous. And after like 2 years of trying, something goes wrong during their test, and they end up ripping apart reality, and they lose Earth. They're not in the right place anymore, and weird things happen, and it was pretty good.
They end up in a Tim Burton movie.
Not quite.
No.
Everyone has scissors for hands.
No, but it kind of... there was humor in it because Chris O'Dowd is in it.
Oh, from IT Crowd.
Yeah,
yes.
he's really good.
I
And
watched some of that
there's
this week.
action and drama, and yeah.
It's very good. Some creepy parts.
This is
Yeah.
girlfriend died of, or parents died at a water park.
Water parks.
No, there's no water parks.
Okay.
Now, the production budget on this thing was awesome. I mean, the production value was sweet. The visuals were outstanding. You could tell they spent a lot of money on it.
Cool.
So check it out. And I haven't seen all the other ones. I haven't seen Cloverfield Lane yet.
Oh,
I
that
haven't
one is good.
seen either of the other ones
It's
yet.
got Dan Goodman. Yeah, it's really good. It's weird though because
Is it like just a thriller, psychological thriller?
yes,
Those I sometimes I have hard.
you should watch it.
I usually enjoy them, but I don't have a hard time building up to it.
Oh, yeah, it's weird because the movies. So there's 3 movies now.
They're all different genres.
They're all different genres, and they don't really tie together much. So,
Nope.
yeah.
All right. I watched, like last Friday, my wife and I decided we got rid of 2 of the kids to camp out. And the third one, not sure where he was, but he's probably off with his friends. So we just got some Chinese food, takeout, and came home and watched a movie. So we watched Jack Reacher. I think it's called Never Go Home. It's the second one.
Yeah.
So it's a Jack Reacher movie. We'd seen it before, but we enjoyed it because I couldn't remember most of the stuff until right as it was happening. I was like, oh yeah, I remember. It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
Watch it. We watched it for free on Amazon Prime.
Cool. Oh, so I have an update. Secret in Their Eyes is we watched it on Amazon Prime, but we have a trial subscription to Showtime.
Oh,
so
it was on there.
it was on the Showtime
Okay.
channel.
Gotcha. And then after this, we decided to watch one more thing because it was still early, and so I had my phone out and I was typing in what we were going to watch because I was trying to keep it on the show notes, so I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So most of these I put on there as I was watching them.
Oh.
But I had to delete 2 of them because we stopped partway in. One was like weird helmet history or something, and I thought it's bad, but I thought it was going to be about helmets, like, the history of helmets. But it was this guy wearing a stupid homemade helmet that was talking about history. I was like, this is dumb. So we watched a couple minutes of it. I was on Amazon Prime, so we stopped and we started watching another one, and we decided, no, this is stupid too. So then we settled on one called Wild Giants of Denali.
Okay.
So the park, Denali Park, up in Alaska, Canada, somewhere up there.
Yeah.
And you thought, okay, so there's moose there, there's bears, not even really largest bears. They're just like
Probably
a brown bear.
elk and...
There's elk. The biggest ones are the moose, and they're huge. But there are other places as well.
Moose.
So we thought it would be about that, but it turns out it's mostly about
helmets.
One of the, No, it was weird helmets. It was about one of the park rangers that was a musher. So in the winter, her dogs and they did the park on dog sleds.
Huh.
And at one point, there was a really weird interview where she was making fun of like this supposed person she'd been talking to that was insistent that so you're out there with a man? She's like, no, just by myself. But you have a man with you. I was like,
What?
This just screams like not real, this conversation. But most of it was about her and the dogs, and I was like, she's not even that large. It was Wild Giants of Denali. She was a normal sized woman.
And she wasn't very wild.
No, she was not very wild.
Huh.
And they also had this other guy that, even though she spent this whole time telling the story about how she's out there alone, she's the boss at the park, but she had somebody with her.
That was a man.
That was a man.
So she's a liar, too.
Oh. He was just there the winter, and she was teaching him the mushing, whatever. And in the summer, he drove a truck while she was still training the dogs. Mm-hmm. And most of his job looked like pulling up to or on the road where people were stopped taking pictures of the wildlife to make sure they
And
weren't
slashing their
doing something
tires.
stupid,
Oh.
like getting too close to the wildlife.
Oh, like people do.
There were some cool shots. Like there was these couple cars stopped because there was some elk that were like entangled with their antlers that were around them on the road.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys are outside your vehicles around these huge animals that are trying to hurt or push
Elk
each other.
can get pretty big.
Yeah.
They were big. At one point, the one elk got the advantage because the other one's hooves started sliding on the asphalt of the road until they got off the side. I don't know. It was we having more fun making fun of it for not being about the animals and showing them more. At one point, they found a dead elk or something, and the one they called in the guy that was the dog sled guy. It was summertime, so he had his truck. So they're like staking out this animal that's dead. You could tell something's been eating on it. Mm-hmm. And they kept on showing shots of this like black wolf that was hanging around the outskirts where they were. Like, will you go away so I can get my food? And there was an interesting scene where there was it showed a wolf pack take down a injured moose. I think it was not a very big one. Mm-hmm. But they finally got it down, and then almost immediately as they're starting to enjoy the fruits of their labor, this mama bear and her cubs came up, and the wolves kind of backed off.
Yeah.
And it's funny with the mama bear there, the baby, the cubs were even like taunting the wolves, like running at them, like. But then a male bear showed up, and the mom bear immediately took the cubs away because male bears will eat cubs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they are delicious.
But since that bear was by himself, the wolves were like, "Okay, we got this one," and they scared away that one, the male bear.
Wow.
And they end up with their meal anyways.
It's the circle of life.
So that was good, and it's fun to make fun of. And then I watched a anime show called Darker Than Black, which is weird. It's like a future where something happened, and I don't know. There's people with powers, and I probably won't watch it anymore. I don't know. The video, the cover caught my eye, so I watched the first episode, and then I watched Altered Carbon, like 4 episodes. That's also a new Netflix show.
Is it an isotope?
No, it takes place in like 250 years in the future. Not even our future.
Someone else's future?
Yeah, because the first part of the movie, it shows like 2 moons. But then it jumps ahead 250 years.
Maybe
And
we're going
there's-
to get another moon soon.
Right, people have these disc things they put in their necks. Like everyone gets one. And if you die, but that's not damaged, they can take basically your consciousness out and put you into a sleeve, which is another human body that's cloned.
Huh.
Or
Sounds like
prisoners.
they've done that in a movie before.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Oh.
So
Jumanji.
they bring this guy back. He's been incarcerated, so they just have his disc sitting in storage in a prison, I guess.
Okay.
So the rich people have clones of themselves. So they
As
can
you
just,
would.
yeah, continually recharge yourself with a new body or whatever. So they're like very rich people they don't die basically, and the poor people get dregs. At one point, they showed this couple, their daughter died 3 years previously, their 7-year-old daughter, and so they asked the government to give her a sleeve or whatever, and it turned out it was like an old woman from the prison, which was weird. Anyways, this rich person brings forward this guy that was been in prison for 250 years because he wants him to solve his murder. So one of his bodies gets killed, like shot in the head or whatever. And the last time but unlike everyone else where everything's stored on that disc, he has every 2-day backup to a satellite. So he has 48 hours of not knowing what happened. So he brings this guy to try to investigate and try to find out how he died.
Interesting.
Which is weird. Anyways, it's interesting. And then I watched a documentary called Patient 17. Where it's talking
It's
about a guy
actually
that...
about hats.
Yeah. No, this one is about a guy that had like a piece of metal in his leg. And so he gets it taken out by this doctor, surgeon that's also a ufologist. And they have the metal tested. And it's really weird. They had like 35 different elements in it. And a lot of them were like non-terrestrial elements, like you wouldn't find on Earth. Like the isotopes were wrong. In fact, the one guy that looked at it is like, some of these isotopes, these shouldn't even be from our galaxy or our solar system.
Weird.
It's weird.
I can't figure out which ASTM
He's
spec
like, you wouldn't
it's-
find this. Yeah, you wouldn't find this many things of this type of things together without it being manufactured. Is this one guy's opinion? But then during the filming the documentary, the doctor that took it out died. Dun, dun, dun. But all they call this guy is Patient 17. You don't know his name because he doesn't want people to know. So anyways, it talks a little bit about ufology and stuff like that.
Weird.
And that's it.
Okay.
Next is Nerd Cred.
Yeah.
All right.
Who's
Well,
got some?
I don't remember if I told you that I got a box of gummy frogs for Christmas.
Yes.
That's all you could
So-
talk, that's all you could talk about.
So these gummy frogs, we cannot find them in any stores in the area until now.
What?
So my son, who lives in a town 30 miles away, told me that one of the local convenience stores has these gummy frogs,
What?
and he bought all of them that they had. There was like 7 of them. And
Hopefully
so,
that gets them to buy more.
well, he told me where the store was, and so the next week, when I went to pick up my daughter for the weekend, I went by the store, and I walked in and immediately saw them and grabbed 5 packages and brought them up to the front. And the guy was like, well, you knew exactly what you were going for. I'm like, yeah, these are hard to find. And he's like, yeah, last week somebody came in and bought everything I had. I'm like, I think that was my son.
That's funny.
In fact, he told me about him. That's why I'm here.
So when's your truck coming in? Huh? When's your next shipment?
Yeah, when's the next shipment? I need him.
I got what you need.
He's going to raise the price.
Probably.
They're like $1.40 a package, so not bad.
Wow.
So, I don't know.
I was at the convenience store close to our house, and there was this dad with 2 small kids, and they kept on grabbing candy and just putting it back.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady behind the counter is like, let them have one each. She just gave them candy.
Wow.
Wow.
That's cool. I think they're an Indian family that runs that convenience store.
So
I
don't know if that's nerd cred or not, but I thought it was pretty
I think
funny.
Yeah.
Tracking down.
Like father, like son.
That's right.
Well, for part of my nerd cred, I wanted to read the
okay.
instructions
Awesome.
that came with these pop filters. So they call them anti-spray networks.
Well, good thing, because DVD and I are sick.
Professional anti-spray network designed for computers. Network K-Song places. By using the principle of physical noise filtering, the outside world will be a professional noise filter equipment. Double layer filter design, excellent filtering effect, can more effectively filter out the outside of the excess vibration noise, wind, air conditioning noise, and other messy signals to achieve the original sound reproduction, so you will not be outside the impact of environmental noise.
So you'll be inside the impact
of environmental noise.
Tedious post-noise processing allows you to only record the into the pure voice. Product installation instructions. Select the best position in the top of the bracket, and the spray nozzle clip will be fixed on the bracket. Then adjust the release network to the appropriate position before the wheat head.
Wheat head.
Yeah, it's what it says at the bottom there.
WHEAT.
Okay.
I don't know why.
They translated it into English and then back into
Klingon?
I'm curious to put that into Google and have it translate back to whatever and then back again.
Wheat head?
No, that sentence.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So last
Christmas. You
it
gave me
was
my
Thanksgiving. I
Gave
went
me my
to
fish.
a football game at our university we went to. Because I was
Nice.
home for Thanksgiving, and I took a bunch of pictures with my phone, and then I put them on Google Maps so that when people look up the stadium, they would see my pictures. And 1,000 people have liked my pictures.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's more than like their show.
What if I've seen them? Were you in them?
I was in one of them.
Because I was using pictures of the stadium to draw Google or Minecraft plans for it.
I actually told my wife that if I had known that people were going to be looking at these that much, I wouldn't have
Posted them?
put the one with me in it.
Are you going to use it as this week's...
Oh, I can't.
Oddly enough, 3,000 people like that one more.
Well, that one... No, one of them has 762. That one only has 12, so...
Who's this guy?
Yeah.
They like you.
I actually found some really
They
cool
really
ones.
like
Like
you.
someone was standing on the 50-yard line and did like a 3D.
Oh, yeah.
So I could, like in the picture, I could pan and zoom around to look at different parts. Setting a stadium in
I forgot
Minecraft
to
is
show that
difficult.
camera.
Trying to get the angle of the stadium right is difficult. And then turning the corner where it's rounded,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you're impossible.
That's
Not my nerd cred, by the way.
Well, what is?
On my previous version of Minecraft I had on my laptop, before I started playing in LFG's Realm, I had the Castle Grayskull built.
Mm.
I've since looked and cannot find my plans. This is like the first set of plans I made for Minecraft in AutoCAD. So I've been recreating it, and I'm making it a different scale so it's not quite so large, because it was way out of proportion last time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm making it. I found actually there's a cool toy company that makes the Castle Grayskull, not like the one we have. that opens up, but like a whole 3D thing where it shows each side. Which
Cool.
I thought about buying, actually. That'd be really cool. So I'm working on that, and then I've been caught a couple of times. Like, I was working on it at lunch today, and then someone came to talk work
Ew.
and took me out on my lunchtime, and then as soon as they left, somebody else showed up that needed a question answered. 2 welders came up and were talking to me, and they noticed it and like, oh, what's that? And I was like, it's my plans for building Castle Grayskull in Minecraft. I'm like, oh.
You're that kind of nerd.
Aw,
But
that's
fine.
nerd cred.
I claimed it. I owned it.
Nice.
You did.
I was unapologetic. And that's my nerd cred, I guess.
All right, feedback. There's not much this week. I actually thought it might be funny sometime when we don't have much feedback to read reviews, like 1-star reviews of things like.
Do you have any?
No,
And then pretend they're for our show?
no, but just because we looked one up at work for Green Eggs and Ham, the book by Dr. Seuss.
Yes.
There are 1-star reviews,
That's so funny.
and somebody was like, I didn't get why they chose that, or why they made them a different color. Maybe there's some deeper meaning to this I'm just not getting. It's like,
Thinking too
another
much
one's
about
like,
it, pal.
I know it's a children's story, but it's very short. 1 star?
That's funny.
Well, somebody was claiming that there isn't anything with lots of reviews that has a perfect rating. Because there's always at least some
Some
ratings that
Yahoo.
are less than perfect. I was
Unless there's only one rating.
like, right, if there's only a few ratings, it could be, but
I should go on Amazon and rate my product that I bought from them recently, since there were no ratings on it yet.
oh, yeah. Our only
Like the Cat in the Hat movie? 1-star review. Very vulgar movie. I thought this would be something quite different for kids, but would not recommend it. Makes me wonder what he got. That someone,
maybe it wasn't the
and then-
right movie.
and then someone put the wrong movie in the wrong case.
Oh. St. Jimmy, by the way, DVD and I installed the new rail and motor system for my door, for my car door.
How'd that go?
It went pretty well.
Is it working good?
It works better than it did before.
Oh, listen to this 1-star review.
Hold on. We'll get to that in a
Is it
second,
for-
pal.
Power windows?
So we removed the door and brought it into my living room to work on it.
Okay.
And
As one
apparently, we had it resting on its
Laurel.
backside,
Oh.
or outside.
Right.
So the mirror's a little screwed up now. It doesn't flop around when I drive it, but and then
good.
for a while I couldn't use the switch or the electric switch
Like
to
switch.
lock the door,
Like a switch.
but it started doing that
Weird.
again. It had problems doing that before.
Oh, okay.
I can manually unlock it and lock it. But
Right.
anyway, yeah,
But
it
does
goes
the
up and down
window-
now.
Okay.
Nice.
The window does go up and down.
It goes up very slowly.
Well, fighting gravity.
I wonder
but-
why.
Huh.
Maybe the rails
It was
need
kind of like
grease.
that before.
I think
There's plenty of grease.
You need
I
to
think
soup
maybe-
it up.
maybe the switch is going bad.
I think it's
Oh,
the
maybe.
switch.
It's like a switch.
I don't have a hat on.
You need to put a hat on it and turn it around.
Yes.
So-
Okay, now tell us your one-star
For the
review.
Cat in the Hat movie. This 1-star review from Custom Rat Rods. It's a shame I quit smoking because this movie gave me cancer anyway. Anyone know Mike Myers so he could pay for my chemotherapy?
Okay.
That's creative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything's going to have something like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That one.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. Okay.
Screwdriver.
Anyways, a couple people liked one of our GI Joe pins on
Yes.
Pinterest. Kev Fusco and someone named Elizabeth.
If you're trying to get people to like
Ooh.
your pins, G.I. Joe's a gateway pin.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Gateway pin.
I guess we need to put some more stuff up there.
I don't know how to get into it.
I'm gonna start.
DVD
I'm gonna
does.
start tweeting random G.I. Joe pics and see if I can get better Twitter followers.
Better.
Oh
You
boy.
mean more or
More quality.
higher
quantity.
quality?
All the wheat heads.
If you want to contact us, send us an email at enginerdyshow@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook and Twitter if you just search Enginerdy Show.
If you ever had the desire to send an email to somebody that will actually care about reading it, we'd be the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll even talk about it on the air. You'll be famous.
Infamous. More than famous.
World famous. We have listeners from all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to support us, go to our website, enginerdyshow.com. You can actually get to Facebook and Twitter from there.
You can buy us new chairs.
You could
Buy DVD a new house to put a studio in. No, just kidding.
you can support the show by clicking through to Amazon or Britazon if you're in the UK.
Oh, my.
And you can go to our shop and purchase a t-shirt or a hoodie or a mug.
Don't go to the actual Amazon in South America because we don't get any money from that.
Our t-shirts that are down there, we don't get any royalties from those. We should send t-shirts to Africa.
Okay.
Sure.
All the continents that don't listen. We should send our t-shirts incontinent.
All right.
They help with
The
your
brown ones.
incontinent.
Thank you for listening this week. Stay nerdy.
Live long and nerdy.
You have been and always shall be, my friends.
I'm not even on the picture.
Your noses.
Barely. A little bit.
I feel like the neighbor from Tim Allen's show.
Oh, there we go. I gotta go this way.
Heidi ho, neighbor.
What was his name?
Wilson.
Wilson.
Wilson. He's a volleyball.